Can cancel therapy this week. This is like, I'm good. I'm fixed. I'm fine, I think.
The Critics' Choice is one battle after another.
One battle after another wins big at the 2026 Critics' Choice Awards.
We live for the cult. Live for the culture. We live for the cult. Live for the cult. Live for the culture. We live for the cult. Live for the cult. We live for the culture. We live for the cult. Live for the cult. Live for the culture. We live.
What's poppin', internet? I'm Shwa, and this is Pop Culture, the show where faith and fandom meet. And today we're going to be talking about the Critics' Choice Awards. Before we get started, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, drop a comment, and like the video. It really helps out the channel. Here on Pop Culture, we like to talk about movies, TV shows, video games, books, music, etc. We also talk about a little bit of news and pop culture and just politics and stuff like that. So if you're into that kind of thing, hit the subscribe button. And without further ado, let's get into it. So the Critics' Choice Awards were held on January 4th, which was last Sunday, and they were hosted by Chelsea Handler. Now, the Critics' Choice Awards is obviously like the group of American critics coming together to vote for what was the best movie, what was the best TV show, etc. for each year. I do take these a little bit more seriously than like the Golden Globes or even something like the Kids' Choice Awards, but they're not quite the Oscars. It is somewhat of an indication of how the Oscars are going to go later this year, probably in February. But I just wanted to go over all the main categories and kind of give my thoughts. So let's go ahead and talk about Best Cinematography. There was a bunch of great films that were nominated this year, including F1, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Hamnet. But the movie that ended up taking home the trophy was Train Dreams. The cinematographer for this was Adolfo Veloso. I'm not familiar with his work, and I wasn't even familiar with his movie until just a couple days ago. Me and my wife started it. We're about halfway through, and something that was clear to me at the beginning was that this movie had the sauce when it comes to the cinematography. There's this close zoom in on a pair of boots that's hammered to a tree. You'll get that if you've seen the movie. If you haven't, you're like, what's going on there? And it just had a lot of cool perspectives and a lot of cool imagery. So I think this was well deserved. I did think that the cinematography for One Battle After Another also really stuck in my head. A lot of people were posting memes about the car and the driving scene at the end there. I thought that was awesome. Frankenstein had a lot of gorgeous stuff going on too. But overall, I think that this was a decent choice, and I have no qualms if Adolfo is who wins the Oscar come next month. So next up, we have Best Score, and we had some of the greats nominated. We had Hans Zimmer for F1. We had Ludwig Göransson for Sinners. We had Johnny Greenwood for One Battle After Another. And of course, there was Marty Supreme, Frankenstein, and some other films in there as well. For me, I was surprised that Begonia wasn't in there because I really jived with that score. And there's the one where he's riding the bike and it's like, that has been going around on TikTok and stuff. So I'm surprised that didn't get a nom. But out of the ones that were nominated, I would have gone with One Battle After Another. That's one of the scores that I've been listening to since I saw the film. But unsurprisingly, Sinners is what won. I don't know if the song that's sung by the young lead actor counts towards that or not. I know that was an original, but I don't remember the score too much. But apparently it was really good. I do like Ludwig. I've liked everything that he's done. I loved his Tenet's score. I really liked what he did with Black Panther 2. I thought that was very unique, bringing in sort of the Spanish, sort of the South American sensibilities to the score. So I'm assuming he did the same thing here. Like I said, I don't really recall it. I need to go do a re-listen, but I'm assuming he did the same thing, bringing in that Louisiana kind of down south, old-time American vibe to it, the sort of the soul R&B stuff that all the guitar stuff that's in the film. So probably well deserved, but I personally would have gone with Johnny Greenwood. So next up, we have Best Adapted Screenplay, and it's always interesting with this category because I'm always surprised on what was adapted, what was original, yada yada yada. So we had stuff like Chloe Zhao and Maggie O'Farrell nominated for their work on Hamnet. We had Guillermo del Toro, adapting Mary Shelley's great novel, Frankenstein. We had Clint Bentley, who did Train Dreams, and Paul Thomas Anderson, who did One Battle After Another. And I kind of thought that Guillermo del Toro had this in the bag just because people were saying that this is the quintessential Frankenstein. Great performances all around, great cinematography, and just great gothic imagery and feel overall. I could have seen Train Dreams winning this. I'm not familiar with the original source material there, but as I'm halfway through the movie now, I'm loving. It's just a harrowing American epic, and that gets me right there. That's just like my cup of tea. So, but what ended up taking home the gold was Paul Thomas Anderson doing One Battle After Another. I think I vaguely remember looking this up and seeing that it was based off of some book. I think it was like Viva Revolution or something like that. Like he yells in the movie or something about a revolution is the title of the actual novel or novella or whatever it's based on. No problems with this win. I love this movie. It's what I think is the best movie that's come out all year, only followed by Begonia and Avatar. So yeah, it's another, again, it's one of those, I mean, it's 3 hours, just a big epic, the score, the characters, there's so much I'm going to remember about this movie. It's one that I'm going to get on my shelf as a Blu-ray Steelbook, no question. It's just a great, great film. So I'm not surprised, and the script is tight. So good job to Paul Thomas Anderson for adapting this film. Now we have the best original screenplay, which is a great category because people are always complaining about too many sequels and prequels and reboots and franchises. And so these are the people who actually came up with an original idea, put pen to paper, and created a masterpiece. So we've got stuff like Josh Safdie, one of the Safdie brothers, doing Marty Supreme. We've got Zach Krieger doing Weapons, which is cool to see, like a horror. I know it's kind of like a horror, thriller, comedy, mystery thing, but it's cool to see that in here. And then we've even got Sinners from Ryan Coogler, which is also sort of a horror, musical, thriller, comedy situation that speaks to the Black experience and the immigrant experience and all sorts of things. And Ryan Coogler ended up taking home the gold here for Best Original Screenplay. I don't have a lot of complaints with this one. I haven't seen Marty Supreme yet, so I don't know. There's some other ones here. Sorry, Baby, I'm not familiar with. I've heard great, great, great things about Sentimental Value, but I just haven't seen it. Jay Kelly, I'm not familiar with that, but it's Noah Baumbach. He's a great writer, but you kind of know what you're getting there. So I'm very comfortable with Sinners getting this. Excuse me. It's a tight script. It's memorable. A lot of people have it at the top of their list for the year, and it's packed with soul. So good job, Ryan Coogler. Congrats on your win. Okay, so now we're getting into like the main card winners, if you want to call it that, the main categories that people are really, really interested in. They put these ones at the end of the show because they know that that's what people are actually here for. Best Director. This was an interesting year because this is one of the years where we have the most genre fare, I feel like. Normally it's a lot of like, some sort of historical Nazi movie and some, I don't know, something about a tortured artist. And it's always kind of par for the course. But this year we had stuff like Sinners about vampires and Frankenstein about vampires. So 2 vampire things back to back. And then One Battle After Another, which is kind of an F the system sort of movie and sort of a rebellious movie. So it was interesting to see. I'm not familiar with Sentimental Value, but that got a nom as well as Josh Safdie's Marty Supreme and Chloe Zhao doing Hamnet. I have no doubts that every single one of these movies is amazing. I mean, let's just list the directors and you tell me if you hear a bad name in here. Paul Thomas Anderson, Ryan Coogler, Guillermo del Toro, Josh Safdie, Joaquin Trier, and Chloe Zhao. I mean, Chloe Zhao is already a one-time Oscar winner. And of course, Paul Thomas Anderson gave us There Will Be Blood, and Ryan Coogler has given us Black Panther and Creed and Fruitvale Station. Guillermo del Toro, of course, giving us Pan's Labyrinth, and Josh Safdie and his brother giving us phenomenal movies like Good Time and Uncut Gems. So yeah, this was tough competition, but to me, unsurprisingly, it goes to Paul Thomas Anderson in One Battle After Another. I mean, this, I think, will be, along with There Will Be Blood, will be one of the crown jewels of his career. I think it'll go down in history as one of the great films, and I think this is something that's going to end up in like Criterion Collection someday. It's that good of a movie to me. And yeah, just the commentary, the comedy, the cinematography, the kinetic energy. It's like you're on a ride, but not like a roller coaster, like a Avatar or a Marvel movie. It's more like, you know, I don't know what you call these types of rides, but like It's a Small World After All, where you're just kind of like slowly going through and watching things to the side, animatronics. That's what this movie feels like. You're just on a ride. Honestly, the car thing at the end, that's what it feels like. Ooh, up and down, up and down. So bravo. When it comes to this category, you can kind of expect that these are going to be some of the similar names that are going to be considered for the Oscars at the again next month. And I could see Paul Thomas Anderson taking home the ultimate trophy there as well. Moving right along to another big category. This is not something that they have at the Oscars, but they make a point of pointing out sort of the young up and coming actors and actresses in Hollywood. And here you see a few names that I know and some that I don't. We have Miles Canton, who was the lead of Sinners. Oh my goodness. Like, everyone who came out of this movie was praising this kid. It's his first acting credit ever in the history of ever. Okay. And he kills it, knocks it out of the park. His singing, just beautiful. Then we have Carrie Christopher. I'm not exactly sure which kid that is, or I'm assuming that, since it's a young actor, is the little kid who survives while the rest of his classroom is taken or whatever, or lost. So I'm assuming that's him. The rest of these guys I'm not really familiar with because I just haven't seen the movies. We've got Shannon Gorman from Rental Family. We've got Jacoby Jupe from Hamnet, Nina Ye from Left-Handed Girl, and Everett Blunk from The Plague. I haven't seen any of those films, so I'm not familiar, but I think that Miles Canton was well deserving of this award. Go listen to the song, go watch this movie if you haven't seen it. It's killer. It's a great film. And yeah, that's all I have to say about the young actor category. So next we have Best Supporting Actress. This was an interesting category because some of these, it's always interesting who gets counted as supporting, who gets counted as lead. Some of these names on here, I'm like, that's a co-lead. That's not a supporting role, but it is what it is. So we've got Elle Fanning, who is well overdue for getting some credit in Hollywood and sentimental value. We've got Ariana Grande as in Wicked for Good, playing Galinda, the Good Witch. We've got Amy Madigan from Weapons, which is the older lady who plays, I forget the name, Aunt something or other. We've got Wunmi Mosaku from Sinners, which I think is the, it must be the Asian lady, or maybe it's the, what is it, B23 from Loki, who plays the one of, can't forget if it's some Stack or Smoke, plays one of their wives or ex-wives, and then Tiana Taylor from One Battle After Another. I'm kind of surprised at this one, to be honest. I think that Tiana Taylor just knocked it out of the park. It might be because she's really only in 1/3 of the movie, that she didn't get it here, but the person who did is also sort of, you could argue, in 1/3 of the movie, which was Amy Madigan from Weapons, which I thought she was terrifying and sweet and endearing at the same time. She had a great performance overall, so I'm not angry at this pick at all, and I'm glad that, you know, horror is getting a nod here in the award season. So congrats to Amy Madigan. I think this was maybe her first role, or one of her, definitely her biggest role, so congrats to her. Now we have Best Supporting Actor. Like I said, it gets kind of wishy-washy, who's supporting, who's the lead, yada, yada, yada. And what we see here in this category is that One Battle After Another has 2 nominations, with Sean Penn and with Benicio del Toro. And then Frankenstein's Jacob Elordi is nominated, which it's crazy to think that Frankenstein's monster rather, in the movie Frankenstein, is a supporting actor. I get that it's about Dr. Frankenstein, but really those are 2 leads. I mean, especially in the way that Del Toro chose to tell this story, where it's both of them recounting their side of the stories. It's just surprising that that's counted as a supporting actor. Same thing with Paul Mescal and Hamnet. That's basically the lead, is it not? Like, I just thought that was interesting. Then we have Stellan Skarsgård in Sentimental Value and Adam Sandler and Jay Kelly. The winner here was Jacob Elordi. And you're going to notice the theme here of sort of new up-and-coming actors getting the awards and getting the nods here, which I think is great. The new generation is coming in. Jacob Elordi has been choosing interesting films ever since he started out in Euphoria. And of course, he was in Saltburn. Now he's in Frankenstein. And it's going to be curious to watch his career from here. So good job, Jacob. I'm excited to watch you in the series finale of Euphoria later this year. And congrats on your win. All right, getting down to the final three categories here, we have Best Actress. This is obviously which female actor crushed it this year out of all the films that came out. We've got familiar names like Emma Stone for Begonia, Amanda Seyfried for The Testament of Anne Lee. We've got Chase Infinity, somewhat of a newcomer from One Battle After Another. Rose Byrne gets a nod from If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, and Jessie Buckley from Hamnet. And I kind of thought that it might go to Chase Infinity here, young actress who absolutely crushes it in One Battle After Another, but instead the critics decided to give it to Jessie Buckley in Hamnet. I've not seen Hamnet yet. Everyone around me has told me it's just awesome. It's just an amazing movie, very sad movie, about Shakespeare and how he came to write Hamlet, one of the greatest literary achievements of all time. So congrats to Jessie Buckley. I'm not overly familiar with her work. I think I've heard the name before, and I'm sure I've seen her in something maybe, but congrats. I'm definitely going to have to get Hamnet, get a watch for Hamnet soon. So congrats to Jessie Buckley there. So next we've got the Best Actor category. And again, remember with these names, these last three here, Best Film, Best Actor, Best Actress, this could indicate who's going to be at least nominated for the Oscars next month. We've got Leonardo DiCaprio in One Battle After Another, Joel Edgerton in this harrowing performance in Train Dreams, Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan playing two characters in Sinners, Wagner Moura in The Secret Agent, and lastly, Timothée Chalamet in Marty Supreme. Everybody's been watching Timothée in his marketing for this movie. He's sort of been in character, you could argue, for months now. He really seems to want an Oscar, and it looks like he might get one, or at least a nomination, because he took home the gold here for Best Actor for Marty Supreme. Again, I have not seen this movie yet. I've seen a few clips here and there, and it seems like he's doing his best. I'm not really surprised here, just because Leo has already been nominated time and time again. Joel Edgerton, I could have seen it going to him from what I've seen so far of Train Dreams. I thought Michael B. Jordan was good, but it was nothing that blew me away with his performance in Sinners. I honestly think his best performance is still Creed, the original, or Fruitvale Station. I didn't see Blue Moon. It was on my list, and Secret Agent. So congrats, Timothée Chalamet, and I hope you get your Oscar. It's Marty Supreme season, baby. Marty Supreme Christmas Day. All right. Can I get a drum roll, please? For the Critics' Choice Awards Best Picture nominees, we have Begonia by Yorgos Lanthimos. We've got Frankenstein by Guillermo del Toro, Hamnet by Chloe Zhao, Marty Supreme by Josh Safdie, One Battle After Another by Paul Thomas Anderson, Sentimental Value, don't remember the director, Jay Kelly, sorry, don't know the director, Sinners with Ryan Coogler, Train Dreams with Clint Bentley, and Wicked for Good by John M. Chu. Right off the bat, there's one thing that does not belong here, and that's Wicked for Good. Very disappointing sequel in comparison to the first half. I understand that the second half is not as beloved, but I was hoping that we could get something better than that. Unfortunately, I walked away not really liking this movie. Like I said, I like Sinners. I thought it was a very, very good movie. Spoke to the Black experience in America. culture vultures or vampires, if you want to talk about that. There's a lot going on there, but I didn't think it was like blew my mind or anything. Train Dreams was a harrowing American epic. I love that movie so far. Marty Supreme getting some good attention. Hamnet, like I said, people have been loving it. Frankenstein was gorgeous. It's in my top 5 for the year. And Begonia is my number 2. So who got it? Well, the one I didn't mention, One Battle After Another, by Paul Thomas Anderson. As I said, I think this is Criterion Collection levels of quality. This is going to be spoken about for years. This is going to be one of the crown jewels of his cinematography. And I'm not surprised by this at all. I think that's who's going to win for the Oscar as well. I'd be very, very surprised if it goes to anybody else. But I will say I'm happy that Begonia got a nod here. I thought because it's sort of a smaller film that it would get left out, but we've seen that Yorgos and Emma have been crushing it for like 3 or 4 films in a row. Jesse Plemons, it was great to see him in this as well. And the other young actor who is with him. So yeah, overall, I think One Battle After Another deserves this. It's got a great score. Chase Infinity kills it. Leonardo DiCaprio kills it. Sean Penn, oh my goodness. And Tiana Taylor. There's just a lot of great performances and scenes and cinematography. And like I said, it's just got this kinetic energy, man. It just moves. And I bravo to this film. I cannot wait to buy this film. And I cannot wait to watch this film with my wife and share it with others. So that rounds out our review of the Critics' Choice Awards. What did you think? Do you think that somebody lost out on an award? Is there somebody who got snubbed and didn't even get nominated? Let me know down below in the comments. Please like the video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. And as always, peace be with you. I'm Shwa, and this is Pop Culture. Thanks for watching.